Midnight Movie Talk is live from Los Angeles. Erick Weber in the host chair tonight. This is going to be a wild show. I have been looking forward to this show since Friday, and some of you probably know why. I've been waiting to get into it tonight. It has to do with BEAU Is Afraid. We'll get to that in just a moment, but as always on Sunday night, what do? We start with box office, and we have great news for theatrical lovers like me and like you. We have a film that did $87 million in weekend number 2. That is down 41% for Super Mario Brothers movie. That is insane. What a hold at 41% down. Right now, this film has $348 million stateside, globally $678 million. This will be a billion-dollar film, which makes us super stoked. How can you not be excited for a film that is bringing younger audiences and families to the multiplex en masse? That is thrilling, and that's the best news that we could kick this show off with. Now, Universal has a positive in Super Mario and an extremely negative in Renfield that flat out bombed at $7.7 million. We told you this film was bad, and some of you have seen it now, and you're like, hey, Erick, this film's terrible. And I warned you guys. Just wait for BEAU Is Afraid. Speaking of terrible, just give me a second. We're going to get through this. But Renfield, you ready for how much Renfield costs? I didn't even know what the price tag was until just a few minutes ago. I go, what? $65 million? $65 million? For Nick Cage playing a vampire with Nicholas Hoult in Aquafina? $65 million? There needs to be an executive for Universal on the street tomorrow. Your shit's out of your office and you're fired. Whoever greenlit that's gone. Along with whoever said, let's make Halloween Ends, let's give David Gordon Green Exorcist. These people need to be out of a job. In addition to the people at A24 that gave Ari Aster $35 million for BEAU Is Afraid. But that's coming up. Hold on. Let's go back to the article. $65 million for Renfield. Just take a moment. Breathe that in. That is an insane number for that film. Pope's Exorcist got about $9 million on the weekend. What was it, like a little over 9? $18 million. Now that's doable, right? $18 million. This thing will end up being profitable more than likely. That's how you budget a film. How does Renfield get $65 million and Russell Crowe's The Pope's Exorcist gets 18? And yet, I haven't seen The Pope's Exorcist, but I guarantee you it's as watchable as the nearly unwatchable Renfield. Okay? So there's our box office. Come in with comments. Let's do it. But I do want to, as we go into what we're going to talk about, the big discussion here tonight, you know what it is. You know damn well what it is. It does deal with box office. BEAU Is Afraid. Look at this. This was impressive, and I have to give props before I savage A24. I'm about ready to destroy them again. And by the way, for those of you who are like, he hates A24, for a moment, just hold on. Let me zoom out. How many A24 films do you see behind me? I mean, I was looking before the show, and I'm like, you guys can't even see some of them that go up to the top of the ceiling here. I've got The Last Black Man in San Francisco way up there. Going down, Come On's up there. But a Ghost Story, Florida Project. Obviously, the ones you can see right here. Everything Everywhere. Pearl X. Farewell is here. Minari on the other side. After Sun, Lamb. Are you kidding me? What the hell? You're going to come after me for hating A24? Okay, hold on. let's get to this. BEAU Is Afraid. This was a huge opening for this film. 4 locations, okay? New York, LA. Burbank. Oh, man. This is going to be fun tonight. Just wait. Burbank was big. This is $80,000 per location. Almost, $80,099. From 4 in total, 2 in New York, 2 in LA. Best average of 2023 to date for a specialty film. Now remember, this is a platform release. This is what A24 did so well pre-pandemic. And now that we're not in the pandemic, right? No, we are not in a pandemic. It's over. People are back to their lives as they lived them before. And let's never do that again, no matter what they tell us. But let's get back into it. When you look at A24, what they did very well is platform. What that means, for those of you who don't, I know you guys know because you're very smart, is that you have a film, you open it in New York, LA, then you bring it into other large cities such as San Francisco, Chicago, DC, Philly, Washington, all those places. So you're going to get those cities. Then eventually you're going to end up with the entire nation. But the point is a film like this, BEAU is Afraid, is going to play much better in the large population centers than Fly Over America. When this film gets to Fly Over America, it's dead. It's over. But I do want to take THR to task. This is a good article, and it's got some very solid numbers talking about how it's better than just a little under Licorice Pizza, which at 86,000 in 4 locations, and Uncut Gems at 107 from 5 back in 2019 before we went through the hell we went through for the past 2+ years. But BEAU is Afraid, they're saying, is a win for A24 at 320,000. Here's the problem. Correct me if I'm wrong. The budget of BEAU is Afraid is $35 million. Let me double check. I was just about ready to do that before I went on, and I'm almost positive. I went, wait, what? It's how much? Again, like Renfield, $35 million? What? Like, what are we doing, A24? And this is one of the problems I have with the movie, and we'll talk about it here at length in a minute. But, okay, so it's at 320,000, right? Last I checked, this is a $35 million film. So when I look at THR, that's like, this is a success. This is a huge success. It's one weekend. It's going to do well in New York, LA, in Chicago, and San Francisco, in those cities where the cinephiles are. When you get outside of there, this is not going to be everything everywhere all at once. It's not even going to come close to being that, okay? So let's make sure that is clear. There's no way that BEAU is Afraid turns into everything everywhere, because this film is unwatchable. I mean, I cannot state that enough. This film will not be liked by anybody other than the chin-stroking cinephiles who think they're so smart by loving a 3-hour, inaccessible, completely unlikable film. And you're going to tell me that it's going to, get its budget back at 35, multiply that by 300+ million? There's no chance. A24 is losing its shit over. They're losing their ass on this. They're losing a ton of cash on this movie. But again, we love A24. But this was a terrible decision to give Ari Aster $35 million on this film. I mean, really, talk about a fireable offense. You give him $10 million for this. That's easily recouped. This, well, okay, at 3 times, that's 30. I don't even know if it gets to the 30. Okay, fine. Give him $5 million. It gets to 15. But this film, do not believe the smoke and mirrors of New York, LA, 80,000 per. This is an inaccessible film, and when average person sees it, they're going to hate it, and I can prove it right now. Here's what I can prove to you right now. I know I'm right on this. This film is not good, okay? It is one of the last things I would let Ari Aster make. Here we go. Look here. Let me switch the thing. Look at the number. 64%. The audience number is tumbling. Now, here's why that's important. This is 64% for BEAU is Afraid. Okay? That is New York and LA audiences. Okay? Because no one else has seen the film. New York and LA audiences are going to be far more forgiving for BEAU is Afraid than Fly Over America, than virtually any other cities in the entire country, say for me, San Francisco, maybe Chicago, obviously, where there's a lot of chin strokers. But look at that. That's a bad number, 64, coming out of 2 cinephilic cities. So when this gets to the average person, that number's going south hard, because I'm telling you right now, this film sucks. And I'm not going to move off that. There is no chance with me moving off of my statement and my position that BEAU is Afraid is a complete and utter creative disaster and a borderline, I would suggest, unwatchable film. Now, let's get into this. There's two things I want to do. One, on Thursday night, you guys were here for the stream where I detonated this film, but on Friday morning, I said, let's send one more tweet. Let's send this tweet because I'm still angry 24 hours later. This tweet, if you haven't seen it, let's discuss it. A career-killing film. Ari Aster's BEAU is Afraid is what happens when studios cede full creative freedom to directors with reckless disregard for audiences outside of the director themselves. Joaquin's stellar performance goes to waste in this dumpster fire, in this absolute unmitigated disaster that A24 needs to answer for, because you gave him $35 million for this. If I go to the bank and I take out a loan of $1 million and I go and blow it on, what were those plush things that everyone collected way back when? Remember that? Beanie Babies. They were buying them for like $5,000. This is a rare rainbow snake Beanie Boo baby, whatever they were. The bank would be like, dude, you just lost all of our money. Why did you invest it in Beanie Babies? Are you dumb as hell? Well, A24, you were to give Ari Aster $35 million for this movie. That is dumb as hell. That is a stupid decision, and I don't care if you want to work with him in the future. You give him $7 million for this, maybe 10, maybe. For the movie, have you guys, wait till you see it if you haven't. You're going to go, $35 million for what? For the surreal city scene where the guys, the random hobos stabbing people in the street, that's $35 million? To rent the apartment that he lives in? Where's the money? The house that they rented for a month to shoot in the middle of nowhere when he's hanging out with the family? God, this movie's terrible. It's fucking horrible movie. I'm not going to move off of it. But here they go. Oh, here come all the quote tweets. Oh, look at you. Look at this. Quote tweets. I muted it. I don't give a shit. Here's the thing. Look at the views. 1.4 million views on this. Now, here's why I'm excited about that. It's not because I want attention. I want to make sure that's 1,000% clear. You guys know me by now. You've been watching this channel for over a year. You follow me on Twitter. If you don't, you probably have heard of me. I'm a little notorious. But the point of it is that I don't care about that shit. I care about watching great films and spreading the word on films that are very important that you see, and conversely, those that you should avoid at all costs. And in this case, as a film in BEAU is Afraid, that is an, again, unmitigated disaster. At $35 million, this is a fireable across many levels film. And Ari Aster, if it's not a career destroyer, it is, if Ari Aster were a stock on NASDAQ or NYSE, he would have dropped 50% when people actually watch the film. Ari Aster, the man who gave us the pretty much masterpiece, the horror masterpiece in Hereditary, and then the still very good, but not necessarily at the Hereditary level, Midsommar. And then you go, what the hell am I watching, and who gave him this money? The stock is in the tank, okay? And as such, I love the fact that 1.4 million people have seen this tweet, because I believe with my every fiber in my being that this film sucks ass, and that we should not be celebrating a director making something so inaccessible. And when you get to see this film, if you haven't, you're going to come back and say you were right. And if the people out there are saying it's so great, it's 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. I told you before, I'm telling you again tonight. The average critic speaks for only themselves, the other circle jerk film critics. That is who they are, okay? Pick one from the LA Times, the New York Times, pick one from where, it's not always about publication, but there are plenty, and you guys know who they are. Come in the comments with them. The oh-so-learned critics that speak for only the other chin-stroking, inaccessible, weird-ass film critics. And I love a strange film. but it still has to be somewhat emotionally accessible. By the way, I just about died. Can I just say, I just about died when I saw, and I'm going to call him out. I don't think I made him the shill of the week. I didn't have time to put it in him. I'm going to make it. Matt Naglia. Okay, can we just talk for a moment? I know Matt. I've met Matt. This is not a personal attack, because here's the difference. Let me say something. When you go in and look at the quote tweets on this and all this and, whatever, it's one thing to have a problem with what I say. It's not a career killer. What are you talking about? But when people come after me and say things like, look at this guy that doesn't have this or that, and just real personal shit, I'm going to tell you straight up as I can, there is something fundamentally wrong with you. Because when I take a director to task for making a movie like this, they are beholden to the audience that sat through the film. At some level, you're not just making a film for yourself. You need to think about the audience. I would never make a film that I believed would only appeal to the smallest sliver of the audience. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to make a commercial blockbuster. You guys know what I like. Super grounded, authentic, dark drama, stories of people that have had their lives destroyed as they try to rebuild, right? Give me a Rocky kind of film any day of the week. But BEAU is Afraid is a film that wallows in its misery. That I admittedly do not enjoy. So when you ask me what kind of film do I really want to watch, the easy answer is Tar, After Sun. Okay, these are films that are grounded, real characters. BEAU is Afraid feels incredibly fake. Aside from Joaquin Phoenix, the characters in this movie do not feel any larger than one note. Look at the family that takes him in, right? Nathan Lane, the other actress, I'm forgetting her name, and then the young girl. The young girl might as well be the same girl that Sadie Sink played, the daughter of Brendan Fraser in The Whale. One note bitch. And you're watching it going, how is this character, it's not a fully realized human being. And that speaks to Ari Aster's inability to create other than a one-note character. Now think about that for a moment. Go back and think about Hereditary. Is there a character in Hereditary, and I love Hereditary, don't get me wrong, Hereditary's, I would argue, a horror masterpiece, okay? But when you look at characters, and I don't think in that film you necessarily have to have that, but when you look at them, they're pretty much doing the same thing repeatedly. Now, I would say to you, if you're saying right now, like, well, what movie doesn't? I'm going to tell you right now what movie doesn't. A movie I just mentioned, Tar. Look at what Cate Blanchett does in that film. Now, granted, she is a snot-ass bitch the entire time, right? She's an elitist, all that, but it's layered. In every character you watch in what Todd Field wrote in Tar is not one-dimensional. They are three-dimensional, okay? Watch an After Sun, same thing. Those two, father-son, father-daughter, they are three-dimensional characters. These characters in BEAU is Afraid are one-note phony. And the entire film is not grounded. It takes place in a world that's not real. And I understand that you might say that's kind of the point, but unfortunately, that's where you cannot grasp and wrap your arms around this at any level. This film is an abomination. I am not moving off that. There is no chance of you making me move off that. Zero, okay? I don't care if I have a million quote tweets. I am not going to change my position on a film based on people calling me names. Are you kidding me? It's a constant push forward, forever forward. Now, this is the fun part. So, my God, there's a lot of comments. You know what? At some point, I'm going to need to get one of you guys. Someone who is a trustworthy, number one, reliable, and free, and tell, listen, we get this thing really, really fired. To be a moderator, to punch things in, boom, 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 because I really need that, because it's very hard when there's so many comments to go through when you're trying to do it live and do it at the same time. So if I miss some, that's just what it is, okay? I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I try to make a YouTube. I appreciate it. Listen, no, Gore's definitely not doing it. Gore's not. Okay, so I got a direct message the other day on a bunch of people. This is gonna be fun because this is gonna be the first time that we've ever had a live reaction to something Oh my God. This is going to be great. I got a direct message from a good friend on Twitter, and they said, hey, is this you? And I go, what do you mean, is this you? And I go, okay, all right, is this me? You guys ready? You guys know what I'm going to do here? You guys have any idea? Come in the comments. What's going to happen right now? I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, let me explain the story to you. Okay. So Thursday at 3:15, I bought a ticket. I ran out of AMC A-List. I saw 3 movies last week, and the 4th was BEAU Is Afraid. That's the other reason I'm pissed. I actually paid extra money to watch the film. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Here it is. It's coming up. You guys really need to be ready. Listen, let me tell you something. Please listen. I have not yet listened to this. I swear to you, because when I tell you something on this microphone to you, I am not going to lie to you. I don't have time, right? When I tell you that, get out your bingo cards. Elizabeth Olsen is drop dead, stunningly, heart-stoppingly gorgeous, then you have to understand that I saw her and talked to her, and about, like, literally my soul left my body for a few minutes. That's truth. I do not have time to lie and make shit up, and it's also not about attention, and I can't wait to get that in a minute. I told you guys, it's about the movies. It's, swear to God, it is. If you don't know that by now about me, it's unbelievable. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do right now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on my headphones because I have not listened to this yet. Are you okay? Listen, hopefully you guys can hear this. I don't know if it's even up. Okay, here we go. I have not listened to this, but here we go. Here is. Are you ready for the reveal? Me losing my mind after BEAU Is Afraid last Thursday. Let's audio up. Let me pull it back, and boom, here it is.
Abomination. Each one should be absolved. It's fucking. I can't even do it. I can't even. This is a career killer. No, Jason is. No, it's not. For Ari Aster, it is. It's a fucking career killer.
Oh my God.
You can't make a movie like this and have all these take it seriously ever again. Even with his other 2 films. Of course.
This is what happens when you get pissed off. You guys know that. Okay, hold on. Let me explain the story for you guys. Okay, I don't need these right now. So listen, here's what happened. So I bought a ticket to 3:15, and I'm sitting there, and I watched the movie, and I'm getting up and out of my seat. Thank God I was in an exit row, and I could freely leave my seat. Not that I was always off to the side. I just wanted to get out of my seat, like when you're on a plane, and you know you have another, like, 3 hours to get to New York, and you're like, fuck me. I don't think I can do this. That was me pretty much for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes of this film. First 45, I was okay with it. And then I was like, oh my God, this is really one of the most challenging, not just movies to sit through, most challenging things I've ever encountered in my life, watching BEAU Is Afraid. Now, when the movie was over, I was fired up. I mean, that's the audio. You can clearly hear that I am losing my shit. But let's get through a couple things. Number one, my buddy Colby. Colby's amazing. If you don't follow him on Twitter, Colby told me. Kolby. He is really smart. He's super opinionated. And he hated the film too. He came down and was like, my God, this film. And that's when I started going off. And the girl next to me, no joke, the woman next to me, 2 recliners down, was asleep for a portion of the movie. She was like, I looked at her and she was just like this. I'm like, okay. And I looked up and there was another guy right behind me. And he was out too. Because I got up out of my seat. I wanted to look at the audience. He was, I swear to God, eyes closed, okay? And I'm losing my shit. I'm angry. I mean, you can hear the video. I am so angry. But I would do the same thing here. Now, here's the deal though. Real opinion. Listen to me. Listen to me. My taxi driver moment. Listen to me. First off, let's get a couple things straight. Did I lose my shit? Absolutely. But let's make sure a bunch of things are stated so it's on the record. Number one, there are no kids in that theater. So any F-bombs dropped, I can tell you this. You bringing your kid to see a 3-hour inaccessible Ari Aster R-rated film makes you far worse than anything I said. Okay? So there's no kids in the theater, so we don't have to worry about that. 2, the movie was over. It's done. There is nothing going on other than the boat. And those of you who've seen it, you know, the boat. That's it. There's nothing being interrupted unless you were in some kind of, like, coma, which admittedly might have shocked you out of your coma from sitting through this 3-hour slog. I mean, I can't even believe that I sat through this. Okay. So, everything I said, I still believe. Nothing's going to change. So, don't call me Soups. You know, remember Soups, right? When in the middle of the movie, he had someone film him going, yeah, right? Remember that? Okay, if you haven't seen it, go look for it. I'm not going to show it to you. It's not during the movie. The movie was over. People were walking out, and I went on a bit of a rant. Here's the deal. That comes from a passion for film, for movies, for theatrical, for the art of it. And the problem is that after watching that, you're going to have an extremely strong reaction from me, who's like, oh my God, what the did I just watch? So, I don't know what to tell you. It happens. I mean, if I didn't care about the movies, right? If it was about me, which it's not. If it was about me, I would have stopped in the middle of the movie and got up and yelled and said, this movie sucks. And I would have been right halfway through and still been at the end. But I didn't. So don't come at me telling me, you were, no. And also to the guy who recorded it, not cool, but I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. Because the movie's over. I'm making an opinion. It is what it is, okay? It is what it is. And it's 100% different if it's during the movie, right? If it's 100%, no one's going to argue that. There's no kids in the theater. Don't hit me with that. You cannot use that as part of this. So the point of it is that this comes from passion. Was it a little out of control? Sure, whatever. Otherwise, why am I even going to do the show? And by the way, I looked in the comments, the guy who did it, whoever this Noise FM is. Okay, he says right here, the more I've learned about the individual, he seemed to want attention. No, I don't. I know you guys don't. I know some of you believe this, and I listen. Some of you believe this right now, and I hope you need to understand this. This channel's not started. It was never begun to be a place for me. It's a place to talk about movies, hence the name. Midnight Movie Talk. We are discussing movies and in often cases more than that in life. It's not about me. It's about a community. And I know that for some of you, what? No. Just because I said that it's a career destroyer, I got angry at the end of my seat. That's not about me. It's about my reaction to it, and I'm angry, and I sit through how many movies a year? I've been doing this for over a decade, and you're telling me do you want me to sit there and go, and be milk toast? Do you want me to be Chris Stuckman? You want to go to bed? Watch Stuckman. You know, Grace Randolph? What are you getting from that? You're getting someone, number one thing, and this is the beauty. People can come at me and there's always this. The one thing they never say, and I'll tell you what, this is the biggest compliment because they never say it. Phony. No one has ever in my life called me phony. Do you know why? Because they know, you can tell what you're watching is authentic. There's no bullshit. What I say is what I believe. I'm not going to say something to get views, I think this movie is atrocious, okay? I don't care about anything other than this film is a damage to the A24 brand, and I cannot believe they gave Ari Aster $35 million for this film. It has 0% to do with me. Zero. There's someone that switched their name to Ari Aster if they're here. Listen, here's the deal. This is always fun in the chat. Let's get to the comments. I'll never forget watching Mother, and everyone in the packed theater started yelling at the screen and trashing at the end. The only time I've seen an audience go full mob. Thank you. I mean, here's the thing, Brian. Follow Brian on Twitter if you don't. DR Movie News. He's great. Listen, you should celebrate people having a reaction. Okay, I didn't grab a chair and throw it at somebody. I didn't fire something at the screen and rip it. I didn't punch Colby. First of all, Colby and I would have been giving high fives like we were like, this movie sucks. We're on the same page. The worst is, and I'll never forget this story. It's a great story. So when I went to see The Whale, I saw it at the London. It was an early screen for L.A. It screened everywhere else, but it hadn't shown in L.A. I see it at the London, and my friend Jeff Ewing, who's a very smart guy, great writer, check him out, Jeff Ewing, real Jeff Ewing, I believe, on Twitter. He texted me in the middle of the movie, and The Whale is very much like, certainly, The Whale I could still sit through again before I could sit through BEAU Is Afraid again, just for length alone, just the length. But in the middle of the movie, I got a message, and I needed to get out of my seat, so I walked to the very back of the theater. I had my phone out, but here's the deal: the phone's out. It's not in the middle of everybody, right? No one's seen it. It's in the back of the room. There's nothing behind me, so you don't have to worry about that. So again, he put his phone out. I'm in the back of the room. Okay, Ewing texts me, direct messaged me on Twitter, and he said, what do you think? I said, this movie is horrifically bad. And he goes, thank God. Because I was going to lose my mind if you thought this was good. Because it's kind of like that, right? You don't want to be disappointed when someone says, like someone that you trust and you really respect, Jeff, or, Gore and I have gone into it so much about stuff because we definitely don't agree. But for whatever reason, Ewing and I are always like pretty much on the same page. And I don't know where he is on BEAU Is Afraid. I think he's higher than me, but I know he's not. He can't be that high. But he just the fact that we both were on the same page, and Brian, like your point, the audience is like, my God, Mother. The audience, when they watch BEAU Is Afraid, is going to go full mob. They're going to turn against the film. If you think for a split second that I'm the only person that is going to have this kind of reaction to this film, you are sadly mistaken, and you're stuck in your circle jerk of cinephile friends. Get out of it. You can like it, that's fine. I'm just going to tell you, my reaction is going to be far more representative of most people than the reaction of these critics that are like, 77%, it's so great. Ari Aster, you did it again. Matt Naglia, I saw it in IMAX the second time. It's even better. Dude, Naglia, listen, I'm not going to go personal because I don't do that. But I am going to call you the shill of the week. Because anyone who says they went to see BEAU Is Afraid a second time and saw more out of the film in IMAX is the shill of the week. I mean, how do you get more shill? I got the film better when I watched it on IMAX and everything was larger. I understood the themes that are... Matt, you talk about a tweet that deserves to get destroyed. My tweet is just absolute venom, but it's my opinion. But saying you went to go see BEAU Is Afraid in IMAX and now you understand it more? What the hell are you doing, man? God almighty. Yeah, I told you tonight's show would be fun. I mean, how great is that? Mega YouTube. Grace Randolph tried calling out Ari Aster for working with black actors early in his career and now only working with white actors. How annoying can you be? No, I don't even... Oh, God. I don't even want to go down those roads, right? I can't do it. I'm just talking about the film. You don't ever hear me talk about... Isn't that the worst criticism when someone comes out and they're like, well, this actor wasn't this or... No. We're talking about the film, okay? We're talking... What? As you guys know, Allen Iverson practice. We're talking about the film. We're talking about the film, okay? We're not going to talk about the off-the-field stuff and this actor should have been this or that. And come on, man. I mean, let the directors make the choices they want to make. I don't want to, and you guys know how strongly I feel about this. I don't want to get into it too far. I'm so tired of being told that it has to be this, or this. If you're the director, let's say that you're making a film about your life, okay? Let's just imagine you making a film about your life. My God, that film would be insane for me. It would be like, what am I watching? But here, imagine this. If you had a best friend I had my best friend when I was a kid was named Keith, okay? And Keith and I used to hang out. Well, my best friend Keith was another normal Midwestern white kid like me. Okay, sorry, truth is truth, right? It is what it is. And what if all of a sudden the producers were like, no, I'm sorry, your friend has to be, Latino, whatever it is. Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. That's where I have a problem, right? Whenever someone asks me this, and I know now we're into another space, which is typically how MMT goes, is whenever someone says define woke, okay, and I don't like to use the word, but I want to talk about it very quickly, and I think it's a very good one. It's pretty much what it is. Woke is when you are trying to force inclusion into something that could do it organically versus it being artificial, okay? And when you feel that something is artificial, then it takes you out of the film. So, not woke, but looking at BEAU is Afraid. The artificiality of this film lies in the one-note characters that exist throughout BEAU's journey to his mom's house. Every single thing in this film, whether I believe it's a fantasy, I understand that it needed to be grounded, and that's another reason why this film is an absolute failure. A complete and utter history will look back at this film as Ari Aster's by far worst film. It doesn't even matter what the next film is. Anything will be stronger than BEAU is Afraid. Yeah, definitely. Again, right? So authentic, not phony. I am not a shill. That's the other thing no one can ever say, right? They can never call me a shill, because would a shill ever in a million years send the tweet? Let's look at the first tweet for those of you who missed it. The first tweet I sent that didn't get nearly the traction, it only has 81,000 views. A soul-killing cinematic abomination. BEAU is Afraid will have you questioning your will to live throughout its interminable 3-hour runtime. An affront to film. Both Ari Aster and A24 should face criminal charges for this indulgent disaster, reckless disregard for audiences. That is actually a better tweet than the other one. But as soon as I say it's a career killer, it's like, 10 million views. 10 zillion. What are you talking about? Let directors make whatever movie, says a director. No, you need to have creative people at the top of the chain that look at a script like BEAU is Afraid and say, no, we are not going to let you make this film, even though you gave us a horror, I would call, masterpiece in Hereditary and a very strong follow-up in Midsommar. You are not making this film as it is on the page. That's what A24 should have said, and if they did say yes, they should have given him $7 million instead of $35. That was A24's mistake. Own it. You can't just let these directors make any film they want when they make a film that appeals to 0.001% of the audience. This is such a great comment, Alex. Every time Eric reads one of his tweets or shows one of his Film Courage clips, I'm reminded of Greg Kinnear's character in You've Got Mail watching himself. But the reaction to me yelling in the theater was my first time listening to it. And actually, it's a little more reserved than I thought. I was really fun. I mean, you guys can hear. I was pissed. You did go 2 for 3, Ari. The third is absolutely a 0. Your batting average now is .666, which, by the way, is perfect for a horror director, which is where you need to go back to. You need to go back to pure horror. You need to get the hell out of whatever BEAU is Afraid is, and do not ever make a film like that again. Go back and give us something like Hereditary. Not ever again anything that resembles BEAU is Afraid. Now, the other reason I'm pissed about BEAU is Afraid, okay? This is the other reason I'm pissed. Is this, thank you, Scenario Schreiber, appreciate it, on the super chat. Okay, give me a question if you want, you're in. Okay, here's what I'm going to say, is when you look at the other issue that is a big problem for me in this film, is the fact that you have now just wasted Joaquin Phoenix's time in a performance that is very good in a horrifically bad film. So what you did is you wasted time that we have on this planet with one of the most gifted actors in Hollywood, and that is Joaquin Phoenix. No one, very few, are as interesting as he is when you see him on the screen. Last night I revisited You Were Never Really Here, right? You Were Never Really Here. I always get that. I always want to throw Wish in there. You Were Never Really Here. Lynn Ramsey, right? Go back and look at that. And that was 2017. That's an Amazon movie. It's dark as hell, and he's great in it. He looks like a tough ass. He put some weight on for the role, and he is a force, okay? That's a dark film about child kidnapping and sex, and it's dark as hell, that film. I mean, super dark. Story time, everybody. When I went to go see You Were Never Really Here, please tell me I'm saying it right. I swear to God, I don't have it in front of me. I watched it last night. Trust me, I've seen the film twice now. I revisited it. I saw that film in one of the first screens here in LA. Amazon had it at the same place I saw The Whale, the London here. And afterwards, they had a party at an art installation down on Beverly where Joaquin Phoenix was there along with John C. Reilly, and they were hanging out. I think I have a picture on Twitter from way back in 2017 if you want to check me on this. He was hanging out there, and John C. Reilly had this like outfit that made him look like a circus showman or something. It was like, what are you wearing there? So and the two of them were talking, and if you remember, they ended up in that film. I never saw it. What was the film that they did together? Like soon after that. So they must have been shooting it or talking about shooting it. But okay, so story. So when I come out of You Were Never Really Here, if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. That's your homework tonight. You Were Never Really Here. So he is a dark ass, gun for hire that goes in and takes care of business. A cleaner, right? So I go to see the movie. We're at the art installation, and I'm waiting at the bathroom to get in. Because there's one bathroom. So I'm like, I got to pee. I got to wait here. And there's all these people at the art installation. And then here comes this guy, and he stands next to me, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was on my phone, of course. What a surprise. And I look, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is waiting. He goes, you waiting for the line? I go, yeah. And I actually went in ahead of Joaquin, which I think was incredibly disrespectful. That is actually way worse than anything I said in the theater. The fact that I went to piss before Joaquin, the star of the movie, and he was waiting outside. Now, that said, Joaquin, at that very moment, when I came out really quickly, I said, hey, Joaquin, I just want to say that I really enjoyed the film, because I do. I would never tell an actor or a director that I love a film that I don't, because that'd be really weird when you go to read a tweet that says, this movie sucks ass, hey, Ari Aster, your movie's great. There's some critics that do that. I would never do that, because that's whack, man. That's so weird. Okay, so I see Joaquin, and I'm like, just so you know, this film reminded me of 8mm. Right? The darkness. Remember 8mm, Nicolas Cage, Joaquin Phoenix. If you haven't seen that, good film, not a great film, could have been great. But when you watch that was Nicolas Cage, private investigator, going to find this girl who disappeared from the daughter. Was it the daughter? No, the husband. Okay, it's been forever since I watched it. The husband made a snuff film, and they wanted to find out if the girl in the film was actually killed. So Joaquin Phoenix is part with Nicolas Cage. Phoenix works at a porn store here in LA in the movie. But anyhow, the movie's super dark, and it has elements of the same thing, kidnapping and torture and all this. And he looked at me and he goes, wow, I never really thought of that. He goes, you're right. And I go, that's a moment. I literally just told Joaquin Phoenix that You Were Never Really Here is a lot like 8mm. And he goes, that's a good point. And thank you. See, these are the things that's what I want to do. That's what I want to talk. Yeah, you know what, Johnny, let me tell you something. Honest to God, I was looking at Joaquin when I was talking to him. He's not the tallest guy, okay? He's probably about, he's shorter than me, and I'm about 5'11", okay? I'm not like super tall, but he's very, I would agree with this. I think he's shy, but he had his ponytail, and he just looks like, after this movie, he was thicker in this. He looked like a badass, and definitely not like a real social guy. And I know this is going to sound weird to you from watching the show. I'm not really like this all the time either. My friends will say sort of. There's other times I just want to go to a movie by myself and sit there and not talk to anybody. And just kind of like do my own thing. So it's weird, like what is that, an extroverted introvert? I feel like that's what I am. But Joaquin Phoenix, I think that's what it was for him at that party. I was watching him take selfies with people because he was doing it, and he just looked very uncomfortable. And I didn't ask him for one because I figured he wasn't that guy. There's some celebrities, they know part and parcel with those things is, hey, I got to take a selfie. I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I have tons of selfies with people. Todd Field this year, not a whole lot this year. When I first started doing this back when I moved out here, I was like so excited to be out at the parties. I'm like, hey, let me get a selfie with Jennifer Lopez and with, name the director, Kelvin Harris. I love Kelvin Colin Harrison's badass. Cool kid. We talked about Joker. That when I met him, he just got done with Loose and Waves, and I talked to him about Joker, and he hadn't seen it. And I said, you got to see this movie, because I literally just saw it like that same night that I went to the party. But the point is when you meet these celebrities, it's not really necessarily for me about meeting them. It's more about having an opportunity to express to them that you enjoy what they do. Okay, so it'd just be like, I had a fan. I know this is going to come as a shock to some of you. An absolute, believe me, I understand when I tell you this, you're going to be like, what? I was coming out of an IMAX movie. I saw Creed, and I left about halfway through. This kid comes running out of the IMAX after me, and I was like, what's going on? Who is this? And he goes, hey, my name, I want to say Spencer was his name. And he goes, hey, man, I watch MMT. I go, oh, thanks. He goes, can I get a selfie? I go, yeah, sure. And I go, okay, this is kind of weird. But what I'm trying to tie this into is that I appreciate Spencer coming up and saying that, because what he's saying is, I appreciate what you do. And that's what this is for me, right? It's about having an opportunity to talk to Todd Field about how much I love Tar, to talk about like kind of the inside baseball about the film, the fact that he has a score by Hildur that is buried very deep in the mix. That's the first question I asked him, and he goes, well, actually, it's there. Let me tell you what I did. I put it underneath like 16 layers. I'm like, well, then it's not really there. But I let him say his thing. But these are the opportunities you have to talk to these people and to express to them that you enjoy what they do. Now, I would never go up to Ari Aster right now. Interesting enough, I talked to Ari Aster at the A24 party a couple years ago. Sorry, this is all truth, guys. I don't have time. I told you guys, whatever I tell you is truth. I do not have time to make shit up. I'm not in this for that. I'm in here to tell you stuff, to bring you inside and to discuss film, okay? I talked to Ari Aster, and when he was making BEAU Is Afraid, this is hilarious. I just realized, I remember this. A24 party, he's there, and I'm like, I looked at him like, that's Ari Aster. He's just, shorter little guy, glasses, just normal, really nondescript guy. And I go, Ari, hey man, Midsummer. I mean, it was actually Hereditary then Midsummer. When I talked to him about Hereditary, I said, this is a dark ass film. I mean, obviously he's heard that many times, but I said, what I love about it is that is its intended purpose. When I first saw that film, I remember coming out of Hereditary not liking it. But then I thought about it. It's the weirdest experience I've ever had. Tell me if you ever had one of these. You watch the film, and your initial experience is, I don't know if I like this film, but in truth, you love it because of the way it makes you feel. Hereditary makes you feel like you've just experienced a death. I mean, right? Because you've just seen like the darkest thing that you could imagine, essentially. So you're just like, oh my God, but that's the point. And that's why I told Ari Aster, that's what this is. And I said, what are you doing next? He said, well, I've got this, kind of, story that he barely told me anything about, Disappointment Boulevard, which of course would turn out to be BEAU Is Afraid. But we had a brief conversation. But when you have these conversations, you have an opportunity to talk to the directors and tell them what you love. And that's awesome. Okay, that's the number one reason. It's not about, I would never go up to somebody and say, I love you in this, and I didn't love it. That'd be weird. Yeah, exactly, right? I disliked Hereditary, but appreciate it. I think that's exactly the message, right? You didn't like how it made you feel, but you respect what he did with the film. And I think that's the message for Hereditary. I think Midsummer is overly long. It needs to be tightened up. There's some things I would change about that film. BEAU Is Afraid is not even, we can't fix it. It's there's no way to operate on that film and make it good. The only way to fix BEAU Is Afraid is to never make it. It's just the reality. I hate to be so harsh, but I mean, come on. Like, I don't, hey, thanks for asking, Mega YouTube. I didn't get to see Suzumi. I missed it. I want to see it this week, though. I'm going to see it this week because I'll tell you, I'm not the biggest anime fan, but I wasn't. And then all of a sudden something changed for me. If you guys have not watched Bell, you need to. That's your other homework assignment. You were never really here in Bell. Bell, I would argue, that is an animated masterpiece. The songs in that film, the fact that it was not nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Film is one of the biggest disgraces the Academy's ever put out. We can't let things like that happen. Bell is, I would again suggest to you, an animated masterpiece. You need to watch Bell. I can't wait. I want to see Suzumi. I've heard it's okay. What was Inuo, I believe, was last year. Wasn't that impressed with that film. Very inaccessible. Bell's beauty is that it is Beauty and the Beast. And the songs, and it's about the emotion that it brings forth with Bell in her mother who she lost. There's so many things. That's what the anime, what it does so well, right? The themes, the very complex themes that it tells you through animation. That is what we need to celebrate. So I can't wait to see Suzumi. 7 out of 10 doesn't sound that great though, because Belle's, like, for me, Belle's like a 9.5, 10. I mean, it's way up there. Remember I told you my rating scale is a Richter scale. If you go from 9 to 9.5, you've just gone up immeasurably, right? You guys know Richter scale. 8 to an 8.1 is not a 0.1. That is like tenths of thousands of stronger, right? The higher you go, the more this thing is just on fire, and you look at a 9.5, you're way up there. I mean, it's so far up the thing. Yeah, right? Exactly. This is your homework tonight, guys. Honest to God, I mean this. You need to watch Belle. I mean, why do I even say that? You guys know everything I say is like what I believe. I mean, I don't have time for anything else. Belle is lights out. And the songs, when you watch Belle, and I'm so thankful. Let's talk for a moment, and you guys can hit me in the chat. Tell me what you think about this. Name something you're thankful for that you saw in the format, you saw it in a film on the big screen, and you had a chance to see it and may never again. And I'll start with mine, and it's Belle. Okay, I've told you guys about all the 3D movies, right? The Dread, Great Gatsby, Prometheus. That 2012, 2013 3D was, I mean, I'll never forget. But when you look at Belle, I saw Belle in IMAX twice. In that auditorium with that sound on that screen, I thank the cinematic gods that I had an opportunity to watch Belle in that fashion. You will not have that opportunity. It's gone, okay? That's why it's so important. If I come on here, and this is the thing we're trying to do. This is it, right? It's to get you to watch great films, not average or shit films. We want to direct you and focus you on the films that are exceptional, that you will not forget. Belle is one. I don't think You Were Never Really Here is, lights out, top of the scale. It's a solid like 8.5. But what you're going to love about that film is the fact that it's 129 minutes. That's to start. As soon as I say that, you're sold, right? You're like, there you go. So, but Belle in IMAX was something else. Hit me in the comments. What was like something that you saw that you were like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Dune, I saw at Warner Brothers. Real opinion, great call. Dune had the day and date. If you went to see it in a theater, brilliant. I saw it over at Warner's in their what the hell's the name of the theater? The big one. It's right on the lot. It's right in the middle. And let me tell you, that screen, you can imagine. It's on the Warner Brothers lot. It's their showcase cinema. You can imagine that the sound in there is going to be perfection. There's not going to be a single thing off about that room, and it isn't. That is a hell of a room. If you ever get a chance to watch a movie at Warner Brothers in the whatever the hell the theater is, I'm forgetting. I want to say Ray Fiennes Theater. It's not. That's the first thing I thought was Ray Fiennes. So when you look at these things that you see in these Dune is unbelievably true. I didn't ever see it in IMAX, but the screen 2001 and 70mm is great. Blade Runner to theater, Darren, welcome to the channel. 100%. Dunkirk. Oh, Ad Astra IMAX. Oh my God. Are you kidding me, cell phone? I saw that movie twice, not in IMAX. I wish I would have. If that plays again. These are the films, by the way, all the films you guys are mentioning keep coming. The films you're mentioning are the films that when we open the MMT theater, and those are, it's all about you. Haha, wrong. If we crowdsourced it, I kid you not, we would open a small screening room called MMT Theater, and we would show films like Ad Astra, like The Raid 2, like 2001. I don't know if we get 70mm, but we would show these films, and I'll tell you what, we got a lot of contacts, a lot of people that know people. We could get a director to show up, get Gareth Evans or Edwards. God, I always mess that up. I think it's Evans who did The Raid. Get him to come in and just watch the movie with us, right? Get Brett Morgan to come in for Moon Age Daydream. This is what I want to do. Arrival, Brian, 100%. Are you kidding me? God, what a film. Dread 3D was Leonard. Welcome to the channel. Unbelievable. 1917. I saw it on the big screen. Totally agree. All these I saw on the big screen. Yeah, no. Oh God, no. Dolce, are you kidding me? That would have been bad. Well, first of all, if Ari Aster and Martin Scorsese were there, and they were at the screening and they were going to talk. I would never get up and do that. This is at the Burbank 6. For those of you who don't know, the Burbank 6 is the bunker theater. It's a subway theater. You go down some subway, down the escalator, and there's these little rooms down there. And we make fun of it because it's not the number one choice, but I'll be honest, I like the rooms in there. They're really comfortable. They have the recliners and all that. There was no anyone there. Some guy recorded me ranting. Whatever. Here's what I got to say. Get over it. Why are you all so freaking out? It's an opinion. If you don't like it, mute it. Get rid of it. Why are you taking it so personal? Did you make BEAU Is Afraid? Did you finance the film? If you answered no to either of those, why the hell are you so bothered by this shit? I'm angry because the film sucks. Why angry with me for saying the film sucks? You're not going to get me to shut up. Why would you, that? In fact, if anything, what you did, I appreciate everybody who came at me with the quote tweet. This guy, all you did is make me double down on the next film when I see something as atrocious as BEAU Is Afraid. That's all you did. You asked me to, I'm going to double down. It's going to happen again, and I'm not going to move off of it. And screw all you guys who are coming. I'm not going to stop. Why would I stop? Because you saw Pain on the big screen. The Batman in IMAX. Yeah, I saw Dark Knight Rises. I don't think I saw Batman Begins in IMAX. I saw the other two in there. AMC ruined. Oh, they did. I feel bad for you guys. Nope, and IMAX is a great call. Top Gun Maverick, IMAX, 100%. Jaws, yeah. Oh, I remember seeing The Godfather in Dolby. That was amazing. Interstellar, Kuzma. Just saw Interstellar in 70mm down the street in Beverly Hills. It was, oh my God, in 70mm, the ArcLight. Scenario Shriver, so good. What a win for you. That is a huge win. IMAX or 70mm. You know what's funny? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I could. Okay, so films I've seen in 70mm. Interstellar, The Master. God, there's more. Those two pop to mind. I love The Master. If you ask me what is PTA's best film, it's The Master for me. And hello again, Joaquin Phoenix. So seeing Paint alone in a sad, dirty theater was the experience of a lifetime. I don't know which one is IMAX or 70mm. Honestly, if you showed me both, like on an IMAX screen, right? I don't know if I'd be able to tell you. I'd need a real film nerd there to explain to me. And so, but truthfully, when I saw the one thing I noticed when I saw obviously Interstellar in 70mm, it's on film and it looks dated. It's got the film look to it. It's not as clean, right? As you watch Nope in IMAX, there's no film. Remember the old days? You got the what's it called? The speckle on the screen, right? And so not so much. You better franchise. No, it's got to be here, Jeff. You got to make a trip here. We're not gonna. It's got to be. I got to be close to the theater. I mean, I'm at the point now where the studio says, and if they even invite me anymore after this already. But here, can I ask you a question? This is since we still have a few more minutes here. Here's the question I want to pose to you. So, given the fact that my tweet. Here it is. Let's bring it in one more time. My tweet has 1.4 million impressions. Do you guys think that it's fair that I ask A24 for some cash? Now, let me explain why. 1.4 million people saw my tweet calling this a career-killing movie. Now, if you hadn't seen BEAU Is Afraid, are you more or less excited to see it after I say that? I'll give you a second. You're going to say more. Why? Because you want to see what kind of unmitigated disaster is awaiting you in BEAU Is Afraid. Now, the other half of that is, if you disagree with me like half the people that haven't seen the movie, this guy doesn't know anything, the movie's great, I'm sure I didn't see it, but I'm going to comment about it. Then that person is going to really want to see it because I'm going to tell him he's wrong. Then they go to see it and go, shit! I can't tell him it's wrong. He's right. It's terrible. He's right. And people hate it. People's head explode when I'm right. They go, my God, Weber's right. I hate it. For whatever reason. They lose their shit. Don't know why. Don't understand it. It's all about passion. It's all this is. You want to play the audio? I'll play. I'll play. I'll make a deal with you guys. I'll play the audio for you one more time on me in the theater if I get a super chat. You got to super chat me now. If I do not get another super chat, I'm sorry, I got to do this. I will not listen to the audio again. If I get a super chat, I will listen to the audio of me ranting in the Burbank 6 and I will do it, but it has to be a super chat. Otherwise, I won't do it. Guilty. So see, Jeff, exactly. You see, so A24 owes me money for this tweet. That's not why I wrote it. I didn't expect it to get this big at 1.4 million. Think about that. 1.4 million is bigger than the population in a lot of cities. Now, a lot of you right now are saying, he did it for... No, I sent it and forgot it. I put it on mute because all the quote tweets, you're an idiot, I don't want to look at this. Just go away. Watch the video pinned to the top of my page, which is from Film Courage talking about sticking to your convictions. It's so true in this place. Just send him 99 cents. Kid Vans, I like the way you think. Kid Evans. I mean, it could be Kid Evans. I like the way you think. I'm not gonna lie. That was good. That's a star comment for me. But listen, they should owe me. Well, first of all, Oliver, 100. I should ask them for my $11 that it cost for the ticket back. That's the first thing I should do. I should have marched to the manager at AMC. I would never do this. I'm told this is totally an act. And go, I want my money back. I would never. That's like ordering your food, eating it, and going, the food was terrible. No, give me a break. That's a shitty people do that. But here's the question. You guys come in the comments right now and tell me this. I'm going to let you guys win. Okay. I got it. Listen. Here. Listen to me. 11 plus pain suffering. Listen. Okay, so just answer me this. With 1.4 million views on this tweet, let's roll back and you can see what I said one more time. Let me read it to you for the last time tonight, and then I'll listen to the audio because I did get a super chat. A career-killing film, Ari Aster's BEAU is Afraid, is what happens when studios cede full creative freedom to directors with reckless disregard for audiences outside themselves. I've read it so many times. Stellar performance goes to waste. Dumpster fire. A24. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so 1.4 million views. Now listen to me. In the comments right now, is there music on? Ah, shit. Oh, the music in the thing? My bad. Hold on. Let me see. Let me hit the... Hold on. Stop sharing. Okay, there, it's off. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. Okay, listen. Here's my question. At 1.4 million views, how many tickets were purchased this weekend based on my tweet? Was it more than one? Was it two? Was it three? Was it 4? You guys come in the comments right now. Was it 5? Was it 10? Was it 20? How many tickets were purchased this weekend as a result of my 1.4 million impression tweet calling this a career-killing film? 0. No, that's not true. Real opinion, you know that's not true. You know it's not true. You know that's not true. Even if it was one ticket, A24 owes me my $11 back. That's it. Yes! Look, 1,700 tickets, maybe. Johnny, thank you. That works. 69 tickets. More than 10. So at more than 10... Listen. Is that what it says? See? Aaron, I didn't even look. One of the quote tweets says, the first one, 6 hours ago, I'll be buying 2 tickets. Do you see? Did you see? A24 owes me my $11. At the very least, truthfully, they owe me some cash for putting butts in the seat. I put butts in the seat this weekend. I want some money from A24. That wasn't the point of it. But I'm making fun of people. That's why you did it. You're part of the marketing campaign. A24 paid you to send that. You know, that's how I operate, guys. I love to do that because the studios pay you cash for tweets. There you go. No, they don't. They don't do that. They invite you to the next movie. And guess what A24 is not going to do? Invite me to the next movie. Don't care. I'll see it on Thursday when it opens in Burbank, and we'll talk about it here and all that shit. I sold out a screening 100%. At the 6, I sold out 1 screening. That is like 60 seats. So that means I made at least 1,000. No, what is that? How much is that? 600, 15 a ticket. Let's call it 1,000. $1,000 I made for A24. Let's get this stream going so I can make $1,000. Come on, I gotta get paid for this. I am absolutely the anti-Erick Davis. I'm the real thing. Erick Davis is a shill. He's a fake. I am none of those things, and we do the same thing. We drive people to movies because they go, Weber said it's terrible. Let's go see it. Weber said it's great. It's got to be terrible. I'm going to go see it. That's the effect I have. I say a movie's great. They go, no, it's not. I'm going to see it. I say it's terrible. No, it's not. I can't wait to go see it. That's what I bring to the table. That's worth money. I want my cash. Bring it. Studios, I'm available. You just have to understand that when I watch your movie, I'm going to either, hopefully not be in between, that doesn't sell anything. I'm going to either love it or loathe it, one of the two. And when I make that decision, you will find out when I send the result. When I send the tweet and you guys go, oh my God. Why? The whole commentary, the whole thing would be me going, Ari, why did you do this? Why did you make the choice you did? It would start like this. Ari, why did you make this film? Oh, Kid Evans is on fire tonight. Nothing worse than a 3-hour movie that sucks like Black Panther 2. That movie did. What a boring film. Exactly, Jeff. The critics have spoken. Unwatchable. A career killer raves. Listen, but if you think about unique marketing, which A24 is a very unique company, as we know, then they should embrace that and put it up there. It has critics divided. Think about this. One critic goes, masterpiece, Ari Aster's best and most important work to date. And then it has mine, unwatchable, a career killer. They go, oh my God, this is great. I can't, which one is it? And then A24 goes, which will you be? Why am I not working in a promotions office? Why am I not working for a studio, damn it? Why? No, because listen, if we are writing a script, and you guys, I can't wait people coming after me with that. That'll be fun. But here's the thing. If I ever became a filmmaker, I got to be honest with you. Remember, it's all about the film. It was never personal. I didn't call Ari Aster a short, ugly little dude. The people that come after me go, oh, look at that guy trying to be Robert Downey. They can't. First of all, they can't say he's not in shape. That's the first thing they always do, right? Two things. Number one, look at that fat ass. Number two, look at that baldy. They go, shit, he's got some hair and he's not fat. He's actually in pretty good shape. So what are we going to do? He's a blah, blah, he's a loudmouth, blah. They can't go to the ad hominem attack, right? That's just like, this guy sucks because he looks like shit. Like, come on, man, be better. Come after me and say, I watched the film and I disagree. This film's great. You can't. That's the problem. Half the people that it came after me didn't even see the film. Imagine the arrogance to come after somebody about an opinion when you hadn't even watched the movie. Are you psychotic? What the hell is wrong with you? I may help. The first thing you need to do, and I know this is going to be a little bit harsh to hear, you need to find a way to get a life. Find something that does something for you outside of attacking other people. I'm not attacking people. I attack shills because it's a segment on the show and they deserve it. Erick Davis deserves to be called a shill. He is a shill. Has anyone ever called me a shill? And will they ever? No. So if someone called me a shill, I'd laugh at them and say, you are so wrong. You know that you have no credibility when you say that. None. Zero. You could say I have no credibility, but then you'd be like, wait a second. He has a track record of nailing a lot of these films, right? After Sun, Tar from last year, X, lesser extent Pearl, but definitely on Mia Goth. How many times have I told you guys little films to watch like Funny Face? If you haven't, do it. 2021, Tim Sutton, Funny Face. Watch it. You're going to go, if that was an A24 movie, it's going to be a huge hit. I know what works and what doesn't. Otherwise, why would you be listening to me if I had no idea? Shills aren't people. No, listen. But here, real opinion. Please listen to me. If I call someone a shill, that is not a personal attack. A personal attack is if I said Erick Davis is ugly. What a homely looking bitch. Okay? That is a personal attack. Me calling him a shill when he is, and truthfully, you guys know that's true. That is not a personal attack. Because if you weren't a shill, I wouldn't call you a shill. Right? Give me a like. Give me something in the comment. Tell me where I'm wrong here. Would I call Erick Davis a shill for no reason? Would I say that BEAU Is Afraid is an unmitigated disaster if it weren't? No, because I have principles. I'm going to only say things I believe, and it might get a little ugly, and a little bit almost feels personal, but you're a filmmaker. You put your stuff into the world. Someone could easily, Erick Weeby. Listen, someone, and I'm sure many people will in the comments, come in and say, this guy sucks, this shows it. And then you know what? You can say that. It's fine. But you have to have specific things. Say, hey, I think you're wrong here. We're boom, boom, boom. You come in and say, I don't like the fact that you have on a red and white football kit tonight, which, by the way, is Técnico Universitario out of Ecuador. New one. I like this one a lot. I like, by the way, Kappa. Kappa's got the coolest, look, do you see that? Kappa's got the coolest insignia with their logo. You guys know I have over 100 now. It's insane. I have too many. There's Kappa on the side. It's got tons of sponsors. Look at this. Tons of sponsors. Like, the more sponsors, the better. It's NASCAR for me. Just at some point we'll have like, I want to, my dream, you guys are going to laugh. Please just let me, just please let me say it. Don't laugh at me. My dream is to one day sponsor a football team, a small team like in England, like a Wrexham, but like not Ryan Reynolds' team, and sponsor it and have the MMT name on the jersey. That would be literally dream. That's their, I know, isn't that like, you guys are like that, but see, that's where the passion comes from. I love my football kits, soccer jerseys for those of you in the state, and I want to sponsor a small team with the money. So what am I talking about here? The money made on the channel is going to go towards screening rooms and sponsorships for small football squads. And you guys call me the bad guy. This is a good thing. Oh, no. No, Ann Thompson, I'm going to be straight up with you. Ann Thompson is a critic that speaks for very few people. And honestly, after looking at a lot of her reviews, I would suggest that she speaks for a very small audience. I feel like, and you guys know, when you, other than I know you didn't like Ant-Man, but you also know it wasn't the worst thing ever made. Okay, come on. You now have seen Renfeld, some of you. I saw someone say it's not good. It's not good. It's Renfeld's to be nice. Let's go another 5, and then I'm done. I'm exhausted. By the way, today, if you drink, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. I needed that. If you will it, it is no dream. That's what this, you know what the funny thing is, and thank you, Jeff. And by the way, as we get ready to wrap, I got like 5 minutes. I played I'm not kidding you, I played volleyball for 4 hours today, and I'm exhausted. Beach volleyball is a lot of work, and at some point I'll post a video, and you guys are like, who the hell is that dude flying around the court doing stuff? You'd be like, I don't know what that is. Who is that person? But I'm exhausted. But thank you for being here. I want to say this, and Jeff, honest to God, when we started this channel back in March of, what was that? Last year, the Batman. When we started it, it was just to get shit off my chest, to have a conversation, to find a community of people that love films like me. And, oh, that's right, I got to play the audio. Shit! All right, I was just getting into this, like, super, like, serious, like, mode, and then you're going to tell me to play the video. Fine, I got it. I'll play the video. God, you guys. One more. Here we go, everybody. Gather in, kids. Hold on. Gather in. I got to give, listen, I don't really care about, it's people like, yeah, do you record someone in public? I don't know, whatever. I said it. I don't care. It is what it is. Here it is. I should make a movie about beach volleyball. They already did. It's called Side Out. God, it's terrible if you haven't seen it. Okay, here we go. Let's share the screen. You guys ready? One more time, because I did get the super chat. If I get more super chats, for every super chat, we'll listen to it one more time. For every super chat I get, as this plays for the next little bit, we will play the audio again. If I don't get any more, then guess what? Erick, a director, should not be a dictator. Should be a collaborator and surround himself with... Exactly. Star Wars 7, exact collaborator. Ari Aster clearly is a dictator. Physique critique. I didn't do one tonight. It's easy. I could probably patch. I didn't. By the way, our show of the week's Niggly. I didn't do the thing, but I mean, come on. To say you saw BEAU Is Afraid again in IMAX and saw it completely different, unbelievable. Okay, you guys ready? If I get another one, we'll listen to it twice. Otherwise, that's it. This is one time. Here we go. Let's listen to it nice and loud. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
This is a career killer. No, yes, it is. No, it's not. For Ari Aster, it is. It's a fucking career killer. You can't make a movie like this and all this is taken seriously ever again.
This guy's angry.
Of course. Unless I
By the way, I want to state for the record, I was talking to Colby. Colby made me do it. Colby told me to do it. That's his thing, Colby. No, Colby didn't. Colby's like, what? Colby comes down and is like, the movie's terrible. And I go, oh shit. And then I just went off. Okay. It does sound like it's the sixth. That's unbelievable. Listen, whatever, man. I own it. Again, no kids were there. There were no kids in the audience. It's an Ari Aster R-rated film that's 3 hours long at 3:15 in the afternoon. If you have a kid in that movie, you are much worse as a parent than anything I said in that 25-second rant. Plus, you've been on the show. I do the rant here. What's the difference? Is that, oh, you're not in your safe place? I'm so sorry. It wasn't during the movie. Blah, blah, blah. You know, these people. No, it was not during the movie. It was 1,000% not during the movie. If you count the boat on screen for the entire credits, then yes, technically it was during the movie as it sat there. And you're just like dying. You've died watching this film. Reopen your son. You're like that guy. It's a film meant to haunt children of bad parents. It's a film that's I'll never forget. I mean, Golden Raspberry. All right, I'm exhausted. So there we go. What a fun show. What a fun show, you guys. And listen, we love films. That's why we do this. You know, we do this because we love films, and the passion is what it's all about. If I didn't have passion, I wouldn't obviously have any reaction like that. I'd be like, whatever, it's fine, like every other critic. It's good. Let's congratulate Ari Aster for giving us his own unique vision of shut the hell up, dude. The movie's not good. Stop trying to appease the circle jerk, cinephilic critics that speak for nobody except themselves. Just love it because you love it or hate it because you hate it. There's too many critics and too many people out there that are afraid to say, Ari Aster made a terrible film. This film is, why did they because they're afraid of what happened. Look at Erick, he got all these people dragging him. Who gives a shit? My life's continuing on just fine, guys. It wasn't for the attention. It's because the movie's terrible. End of discussion. There's nothing more to add to it. Fun show tonight, guys. You guys rock. Remember the homework tonight. You got 2 tonight, by the way. Number 1, hold on, let me pump them in there. Give me 1 second. I didn't make it. I was so tired I didn't do it. Okay, hold on. Number 1 is to watch Belle, okay? And number 2 is to watch You Were Never Really Here. Okay, here it is. There they are, popping it up right now. These are your 2 films to watch. God, that's a long title. Belle is an animated masterpiece. I'm just going to say it is a masterpiece. And then You Were Never Really Here for a great, dark Joaquin Phoenix. Certainly a much better, very midnight dark, really disturbing film if you take it on what, obviously, you know, child sex slaves. That's pretty dark, okay? You need to watch You Were Never Really Here. And Lynn Ramsey's a really one of the best, and we need another film from her. We need to talk about Kevin, just of like the past decade. And then she had You Were Never Really Here, and we haven't had anything. Like, where are you? Lynn, where are you? Come back to us. She's a great visual director. She knows how to tell a story in pictures and also in runtime of 129. 129 runtime on You Were Never Really Here. That is a win for all of us. 3 hours is a loss for us. Thank you. Listen, it's not, I really wanted to end this. I'll talk for just a second. It's not about being brave. Well, it is about being brave, but it's also about, let me just leave you with this. This is very, very important. This is a life lesson that I've learned over my so many years. Do not live your life worried about what other people think of you. That is not where you want to be. You want to live in a place where you are going to do your thing, and as long as you're not harming anyone, and me saying a couple F-bombs in the end of a movie theater is not, that far out. Let's get that again. But you don't want to worry about other people that are coming after you about X, Y, and Z, unless you're doing something really bad. You're physically hurting somebody. You're doing something that's not, the best for society. Me railing on a movie, come on. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Just play your game and then you will either be appreciated or not appreciated, and probably for me it's both. But I do appreciate you guys being here on MMT. This show is about community, and you guys know that when I talk, it is all about authenticity. There's no shilling here whatsoever. It's about being as real as possible and being truthful and not spinning shit and just being, speak your truth, right? Speak your truth. All right, we're back here probably, I think Thursday. I'm going to see Evil Dead Rise either on Wednesday or Thursday, but I think I'm going to save the stream either way for Thursday. That'll give you guys a chance to see Evil Dead Rise as it comes out Thursday, those Thursday preview screenings. We'll discuss it. Some really high buzz on this. It's horror, you know. Listen, horror always works. Even if it's bad, it's like pizza that sucks. It's still pizza. Horror films are that for me and likely for you. We'll talk about Evil Dead Rise on Thursday. Suzumi, I'm going to catch this week as well. Whatever else happens, we'll get into it. Thank you for being here on MMT. Please like, subscribe, please share, all that stuff. It really means a lot to me, and we'll talk again on Thursday. If it changes, I'll let you know in the community tab. Yes, I will update it, I promise you. Thursday, back here, MMT. For now, live from Los Angeles, Erick Weber saying good night. See you Thursday. Peace out.